Okay, so this is where we left off, and since then I kind of just cleaned up some of the topology. It's hardly noticeable when you look around the mouth, it's slightly different here and spread out. And just trying to sort of make sure these lines are kind of have some sort of flow over the surface. Next we're going to look at the nose. Before I do that, just look to see whether, before I start putting any details, whether I'd like to put in sort of bigger lines. And it's probably a good idea to, well, it is a good idea here to put in another line. I don't have enough topology down here, and it helps shape the nose. Around the eye as well, it needs a lot more topology. So just, it's really areas where I'm going to actually work into it, and around the nose here is kind of an area that I'm going to do now. So what I'll do is I'll just insert some edge loops here. So I'll just do one across there, and then one which is going to come down around the nose to clean that up a little bit. So immediately before I do anything else, I'll just go and have a look at this topology, see if I can make sure. So now you see I've got extra lines, I can start to shape the tip of the nose here a little bit better. Bring these around. Now I have this other line here, so if I just go into wireframe and take a look, so here's my new line, and I want to sort of bring that over here, and somewhere there's like a little dent in the nose there. Let's go into the front and have a look what's going on here. So here's my new geometry, and see now it looks quite different from so let's just squeak away and get my bearings. So this one's going to come out. That looks not so bad. It's a bit confusing when you're in this view, but for now that looks I'm going mad here. No, this actually is going to come out. This is where I'm going to extrude. So yeah, okay. Right, so you can see how quickly when you add geometry, let's just get rid of this one. I don't need this one anymore. And stick with this. You can see where as you add geometry, it can start to get very, very confusing here. So let's just take that center point there and see, give myself that point in some sort of relation as to where I am. So let's go to here. So that definitely looks like it should come out, and this one needs to come out as well. By the looks of this, I haven't actually really kind of done much with this yet. So anyway, let's just bring out a bit more resolution on the side here. So what we want for our nose is just a little bit extra here, and we'll simply extrude that out. We'll just do it on the, just do it very crude. Let's just switch over to the world here and shrink this one down a little bit. Alright, well, let's just do it now. Okay, so now I've got a bit more topology going on here, and let's have a look at the front view here. Now I'm going to do one other little extrude here. This is going to help me understand how I'm modelling here, and that's on this little section here. So again, just do a extrude face. This time I'll just jump into world, shrink this one down, and I'll actually just delete that one so I can see a little bit clearer what I'm doing. So right, I'm going to start off just marking out where I feel like the nostrils are down here. So just start to move these out a little bit. So that's the inner line, and then we'll move on to the outer line. This is where it's handy to use the arrow keys to see where you are. That's actually kind of where we start to dip down. Let's have a look at the side view. Well, I think the side view might be, it's not too, it's actually less confusing. So this is the piece that I've extruded, so I need to probably go into a 3D view to really kind of, we can just start to model this up a little bit. You should really come in inwards here. Let's have a look in the, oh, just a second, let's just pull these over a little bit. Let's just, okay, so there's this the start. So again, I'm going to just push some points around here first and just shape that, and then come back to this. Okay, so I've just moved some points around on the nose to get it more like the shape that I want. I also moved a few points along the nose. It became obvious as I was modelling this that the nose is a little bit too wide. Now the next thing I want to look at is the area around the eye, and I've got a piece of, there's an edge going up into the skull here. Now what I want to do is you see that sort of messes up my nice regular geometry. What I like to do is actually bring this line around the eye and then back over the nose. So I'm creating a new little edge loop that's going to go around here and over the eye. So first thing is I need to have a new line around here to attach this one to. So if I go to object mode here and say insert edge loop, and then just place this somewhere in there. Let's just go back to my normal view here. So now I want to cut this line across here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, go back to object mode here, and choose a merge vertex tool. And what I want to do is I just want to merge those two across, like so. Now you can see that I've got this line going across here. And then I'm going to actually get rid of this line here, this edge here, and let's just shift click delete edge. Now I've got two things I could do here now. I could just sort of take out a whole piece of this whole piece of geometry here. So I could just take these two lines out, and then I'm back to, is that right? Yeah, that's right. So now I've got a loop going up there, a loop going around, and a loop going over that way. So let's just delete that edge there. Now let's just see when we do a smooth here. You should see now that this line is helping to define the brow line, and then coming down around here as well, and now I've got this nice evenness around the model back again here. So I'm making better use. I'm throwing my geometry around and trying to sort of loop it around into areas that are more useful to me, and I've got a lot stronger shape now around the eye there. With the eyelid and the area around, it's still a little bit also needs a little bit of geometry. Now this inner line on the sort of bottom half, it's actually sort of the flesh coming in on the eye, and on the top part is more the eyelid. But anyway, both of these, just before this, there needs to be some sort of more geometry. So again, beauty of the edge loop is I want to add more detail. So insert edge loop and just place a new edge loop in here, and then we'll start moving those points around on that one. So let's just go to a front view to start off with and see where we are with that. I want to actually bring this pretty close to the existing line to create a nice sharp sort of edge here. So let's go to vertex mode. What am I doing? That's not what I want to be doing. I'd love to know how I just did that, because it keeps happening to me that I get this spin below collapse. No, I don't know what I did there. And even when I go back, I still get these dotted lines again. Okay, well, let's soldier on. Put the insert edge loop in again. That's actually a better way to do it, is this way around. So yeah, now I can actually see a little bit clearer what I'm doing there. So this is really to define the beginning of my my eyelid here, and under here is the idea is just to basically, you can see the topology needs to go in a little bit. So I think probably the best point for this is if I select this front edge down the bottom, go into a side view and have a look, and use this as my basis, and I think I sort of need to be bringing the eye, bring this one down to about there, and now I begin to create a little bit more. I hit 2 on the keyboard and I can have, that's the sort of thing I'm trying to achieve here. Looks okay here. And back to 1. Now I also think this line probably needs to be brought in a little bit as well. Back to 1. And let's say this vertex as well. Pull this one in. In fact, they probably all want to be pulled in a little bit here. Now I can actually see where I think needs to be pulled quite far down, because I'm trying to create that sort of crease under the eyelid here. Let's look in the front view. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's bring that one down a little bit. This one actually needs to go across a little bit more. And then we've got more of a gradual, so that one is actually would be over here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carry moving these points around. Now what I would be thinking here is that I need to move these lines around. I'm going to put in another edge loop to create the eyelid, then I'm going to pause, move some of these points around just to shape these 2 lines, and then any more resolution I'll stop the video again. So let's just go back to my object mode here. Just hit 5 on the keyboard, go back to 1. So I've just added that loop, which I'm going to carry on moving around. I'm going to add another loop in on this part of the eye, and I'm also going to put in another loop on that eyelid. I'm going to shape these and then come back and show you how I move them around a bit. Okay, you're going to find, especially in areas like the eye and indeed in the nose and the mouth, those sort of details, that you really want to have more geometry, you want to model into it. But the issue then is that as soon as this geometry runs over the rest of the model, it's kind of can get in the way and it's not necessarily needed. So one way I can add geometry and not really affect the rest of the model, and it's fairly straightforward, is really by the use of triangulation. If I use the split poly tool here, and if I just say I want to cut up into the center, and again some sort of consideration to the flow of the line here, right click on that one and then click over to here and add some geometry here. Now if I smooth this off and we look at it, you can see the geometry changes a little bit, but not drastically. But I've got 2 new modeling points here. I could, if I wanted to keep pure polys, is actually delete this center edge, and then if I smooth it off, you'll see that this edge becomes a little bit harsher, so I can use that to my advantage on the inner eye here, just sort of sharpening up this line and softening it up here. So if I just go back, and if I was to do the same thing on this corner, so just go to object mode, split poly, and then here give myself some extra geometry there, and yeah, I hit 2 on the keyboard. 2 I find is a good one because it mixes between my hard mesh and my soft mesh. And you can see that it hasn't, I don't have any nasty creases in my model, which is what you're trying to avoid, and I'm giving myself a lot more geometry now to work around the eye. So I'm just going to carry on doing that around the eye and just modelling it, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so I moved some points around to model the eye, shape the eye a little bit better here. It's still not perfect, but you don't want to get, you can get quite obsessed about one little area and then forget about the bigger picture here. So I'll leave it as it is. It's a lot better than it was. It's a bit shaped now. Remember that the corner of the eye here, there's a little bit of sort of flesh here, tear duct I think it is, I'm not sure. And what we can do here is we can just bridge across and just fill up that hole, and then just bring these vertex points over just to block it in. If we go to press 2, I have a little view of what's going on. We can sort of pull these out, push them in a little bit, give the illusion that there is a little bit of skin there. We push these points in a little bit as well, just to form that in a bit. But anyway, that's good enough for now. Right, we want to tackle this brow line, because I've created this new loop, but it's gone a little bit weird around the nose here. There's not this sort of strong line that I want, so I need to sort of define where these lines are going here. If I follow it, this line here is the one that's kind of going a little bit strange, so I want to try and sort this out so I get more of a definition. And I think if I look at it here, if I follow this line should go up. I think this little point here might be where the issue is. If I look over there, let's just check. I don't want to actually just cut some new geometry in here. Let's have a look. So I've got a good strong line here, and the only thing is that I was thinking that is a problem. I'm seeing that no, there's a definite kind of a lump. Well, actually, the profile's not so bad there. Maybe I'll come back to that one. Let's tackle the area around the mouth now then. So, same sort of principles. We just want to go in. We've already got these edge loops set up. The chin is reasonably good modelled. It's got a bit of a shape there. I just want to now tackle these lips. So, if I use the same sort of tricks, I can go and select the edge here. In actual fact, if I select this edge and then this edge, and then just do extrude on the world, shrink down, do some new resolution here, and as I'm going to do this, I'm going to start to shape them on the profile here. So we'll just go over to here, start moving some points around. This really wants to come down there. Let's flip over to my front view here as well, so then I can. So I want to move that one down. And these are going to come into the corner of the mouth here. Pull that one across. Now I can see in the I'm going to probably need some more resolution here, so I might as well do that now. It's only a little strip here, but I'm just insert a little edge loop. Go back to my move tool here. And select some of these points, and well, you know what? It's another way we do this is if we just shape the whole thing and then just split it up with edge loops, you might find that easier. So rather than just go straight and try and model the. Let's just go into wireframe here. So if you just sort of approximate this in, and then add edge loops. Now, let's say that this is really, I'm just looking for the gap in the mouth is what I was trying to say. And let's just yeah, so let's, if I look over here, oops, if I just keep these straight up almost, and then for the horizontal resolution is where I'll actually shape these. And these as well should just come right in. Actually pull these down. Look, well, let's just keep that one up there. This one I think should come down to about here. Put it over, then I can get them to line up so the height here matches the height there. Still needs to come over a little bit. Okay, that's going to be the top part of the lip. Select this one, then let's bring this one right back. down to here, and let's pull these ones down a little bit. And let's just create a little bit more of a slope here. So, okay, so that's my basic setup. So rather than extrude, just create this sort of basic shape here, and then start putting in edge loops to shape it. So it's kind of like slowly dividing it up. So if I now say insert an edge loop, do it once. So that's going to be my halfway point. And then I can start to go back to my move tool, go to vertex mode, get that in a minute, click object mode. It's not what I wanted, vertex mode. Right, so from here, probably got a couple of points on that, is just pull this out, pull this one down, and start working. Clean up this line and divide again, just how many times. So definitely it's going to be needed a couple of times to get a nice shape of the lip. So again, I'll just add some divisions, move the points around, and we'll see. Okay, so I've added a bit more resolution in the lips here, and so they're looking a little bit more, a little fuller. I just want to go back and address this line I put in around the top when I changed it. So instead of going up to the top over here, because it's created, I find the geometry a little bit weird here, and I'm breaking up this strong brow line. In actual fact, what I'd like to do is put it over that one. So I'm just going to alter this one a little bit here, and what I'm going to do is just take out these lines. This is the beauty of end-ons. Without end-ons, you wouldn't be able to just rearrange geometry like this. So just select those, and in actual fact, I just have to backspace those. Then I am going to get my split poly tool, and I'm going to split these up. So I want this one to go over to here. Click OK. This one is going to go over to here. Now, I don't want this triangle, so what I'm going to do, a little trick here, is just cut this one across, cut this one down, cut into that corner, then go and select these edges, edge mode, there we go. So it's that one, and that one. Let's say delete edges. And now you'll see that that edge loop is going to go up here, across, and around here. And it's going to be a little bit better now from my smoothing off is a little bit clearer of what I'm doing there now. So I've got this edge loop will come up around here. This one will just go off into the head if I added any more geometry. And it's a little bit better there. Okay, so I'm going to stop at this point on this one, and then we'll start to have a look at the 45-degree angle one and how we can just assess what we've done so far and see where we're going wrong, because there's going to be areas around the face here on the cheek where it's very hard to see. So we're now going to bring in the 45-degree one and then have a look at sculpturing this a little bit better.